Hey there. Well, today what I want to talk to you about is root suckers. What is a root sucker? Well, a root sucker is a pawpaw that comes up from the root system of an existing pawpaw. Root suckers will come up around the edges of a pawpaw that's already existing, and I guess you can call it colonizing. See another one right there. Well, actually there's two of them over there. But that being said, I have a pawpaw over here beside me that I cut the whole top of the tree off, and I did I guess you would call a bark inlaid graft. I'm hoping that it takes off. But in the meantime, I have root suckers that have came up. Now, some people say that root suckers are hard to get to live. Well, they can be. They can be trying. I'm not going to lie to you about that. But in the same token, for me personally, they've been fairly easy for me to get out of the ground and transplant. Now, I'm not going to transplant this root sucker. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the root sucker loose from the mother tree. Somewhere along the line, under the ground, there's going to be a root that is extending from the mother tree over to this root sucker. And what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to try and cut that away from the mother tree. Now I got a spade here. Me personally, I call it a chopping spade. It's square, it's flat, got a sharp edge, and all I want to do is cut the root loose between the two. And I'm going to place that spade approximately a foot away from that tree. Give it a small chunk. Now, I'm going to take a post hole driver. Went down there deep, pull it back out, go right there beside that area, move the chopping spade over just a little bit. And I'm going to come over on the other side of the original chop, which I'm not feeling nothing there. what I'm doing is I'm looking down here to see if I can find the leader root that is feeding it. Right there it is. Now that leader root is just going to be below the surface, not very far, 6, 8 inches deep. Chop and spade itself is about 12 inches long, and just get it down there far enough. I wanted to cut this loose from the mother tree. If the graft takes in that mother tree, this right here will be able to pollinate it later on down the road. Now, one thing I will tell you about root suckers that I have learned, they tend to grow a little bit faster than a seedling does. For whatever reason, I have no idea. I've been grafting root suckers, or into root suckers, that I have dug up last year, and they've all taken very well. I've got one root sucker I dug up. It was a little bit bigger than this one, and I transplanted it in 2018, and now that very same root sucker is about 2.5 to 3 foot tall. They grow quick. I think they grow quicker than a regular seedling does, and like I said, for whatever reason, I don't know. But one thing I will tell you, all these root suckers growing right here, if there was not another pawpaw at all around here, they would not be able to pollinate one another. And especially if the mother tree still remains the same variety that this is. This is a clone of the mother tree. Genetic clone, not identical clone. Genetic clone. I have 2 more pawpaws that are planted over there, and they're one's probably about 8 to 9 foot away. It's a seedling from 2018, and another one a little bit further down, and it's probably another 15 to 20 feet from here, and it too is a seedling from 2018. And already this pawpaw here, which came up this year, is as big as those seedlings. So it's just an idea that I wanted to share with you about the growth of these pawpaws. And they do well. As far as root suckers, they do well. But any root suckers back through here, this root sucker here will not pollinate. However, I do have a seedling from 2016 right there as a pollinator, and like I said, the stump that I grafted into with a bark inlaid graft, if that takes, it's going to be a different variety than what this is. And any of these other suckers that are in here, I'm going to take them out, because anything growing from that stump, in my personal opinion, could end up causing that graft to fail, and I don't want it to fail. But I wanted to cut this one loose. I'm not digging it up. I just wanted to cut it loose and let it do its own thing, let it flourish on its own. But I could leave this like this, and after about a week, I could come in out here to see if it's still healthy, see if it's still able to sustain itself, and then choose to dig it up, which, like I said, I'm not going to dig it up. But normally, when the stem is brown like this one is, they're able to be dug up and transplanted. Just something that I wanted to share with you. They're not that hard to care for. Not as hard as a lot of people tend to say they are. My name's Jim. If you like what you see, subscribe. don't forget to click on that bell for notifications. Y'all have a God blessed day.